Ultimately, the feds were on Big U for several years before they finally closed in, and he no doubt knew something bad was coming. On the 2-year anniversary of Rayshawn Williams' murder, North Las Vegas Police Department agents visited Big U's home. He wasn't there. His wife then called him on his father's phone to warn him, with Big U sounding notably shaken, and then opting to stay away from home for a couple of weeks, something apparently out of the ordinary for his usual routine. Apparently the cops and the FBI tried to contact a number of people involved in the case, and every time Big U was one step ahead.
So Trap Lord Ross giving us some more info on the Big U, so they telling us exactly how the police caught him and everything that led up to it, which is crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
now we finna do our homework right here. This is the homework.
Even tampering with witnesses and attempting to make sure their statements were not incriminating. Big U was being surveilled heavily in the lead up to the arrests. The criminal complaint would break down details of all the times that Big U was recorded, bragging about using violence and fear to control his communities. And he would seemingly be pulled over and served a warrant for his DNA sample in the summer of 2023. In the lead up to the arrest, the 600 and whack begun circulating the rumors of this case getting serious. Big U took to social media to say that the allegations were untrue and that people blame Big U for everything, alluding to new rumors that he was involved in the murder of Fats, Nipsey's best friend.
Don't worry about this, man. Y'all gotta understand, man. People gonna talk.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Make money off of using Big U name. But one thing is for certain, right? Everything they say, Big U did it, man. They got me doing so much. I don't even know what. I don't even know what I'm telling you. Then I didn't do it.
Got you a whole bunch of different places at one time.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got Nipsey best friend smoked, because Nipsey best friend might have knew that he had something to do with Nipsey. Do your homework. You feel me? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened.
You know, it's another new one too. I got into it with Fats. Let me give you all the information on it. I ain't never got into it with Fats. Fats is my little homeboy.
You said that about Nipsey.
Never in my life, me and Fats ever got into it with nobody. Never. You really stupid. And you really. The biggest selling name on the West Coast is you gotta say Big U name. You want to sell something, Big U. They want to do something, Big U. They want to do Big U. Big U. Y'all don't get that yet?
But it was on the 17th of March 2025.
You don't get that I'm Thanos? The glove. Hold on, y'all, because y'all know I love putting y'all on to that easy money. CashKick.com is a free to use cash rewards marketplace that helps you save and grow your money. This is some of the simplest and easiest ways to make money right now. All you have to do is play mobile games on your phone and you can earn up to $500 per deal. Now remember, I said CashKick.com is free to use, so they will never, ever, ever ask you to send them any type of money. Signing up is super easy. All you need is an email and a password. Once you sign up, all you have to do is download your first offer and start making money. Now your offers and reward amounts can change at any time. So that means you can download a game on your phone, play it for long enough, make $500 on one day, and the next day you can download a whole nother game, play it for long enough, make $300. Next day, same thing. This is some of the easiest money I can tell you about right now. And again, you can earn up to $500 per deal. So this is what I need you to do. Go to cashkick.com, make you an account, activate your account. Make sure you turn on allow tracking on your phone so that the app can actually track how much you're playing the game and earn you some of the easiest money you can make. Y'all can't say I ain't never did nothing for you. Skate. On for them, you don't understand.
Would finally stop, and the feds would close in on Big U and the Rolling 60s. A huge 107-page criminal complaint would be filed outlining the sordid details of Big U's alleged criminal empire that had terrorized LA for years. And 2 days later, arrests would be taking place. The operation, called Operation Drawdown, no doubt titled to make a tongue-in-cheek reference to the downfall of Draws, aka Big U, was announced by the LA District Attorney and the FBI in a press conference that described Big U as a career criminal.
Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U.
A career criminal.
His contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further criminal enterprise. An enterprise engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, COVID fraud. Henley engaged
he said trafficking, COVID fraud.
Musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas on the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement.
The DA would even reveal that they had been following Big U's podcast activities as part of the investigation.
As I said,
I told y'all.
Is a widely known leader within
y'all getting on these podcasts and talking about real cases. If you are a person who is active in the streets, you should never be on the podcast. That don't make no sense to me. Because if I'm actively doing illegal things every single day, Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Saturday, whatever you want to call it, folks. If I'm doing active crimes every day, the last place you finna catch me is on a motherfucking podcast. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be on the internet talking about nothing.
In the 60s, he rose to prominence in that gang
crazy.
decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts. All things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation.
The criminal complaint was surprisingly comprehensive and revealed that the feds had been looking into the case since February 2021, just a week after the murder of Rayshawn Williams, describing Big U as the leader of the Roland 60s Crips, running it as a mafia-like organization. It used wiretaps, planted cameras, cell site information, as well as search warrants of social media, iCloud, and
see, now this is the problem. This is why he's not getting out of jail. I hope y'all know that. When they have wiretaps, they have search warrants for social media, iCloud, Google accounts, financial records from the company and him, toll records, victims, sales site locations. When they have real stuff like that, it's not like, oh, they got a few snitches that said that you unalived somebody and they found some DNA and it may or may not you've been there. No, they got all of this. And they have wiretaps. You have to get a warrant to even tap somebody's phone. You get what I'm saying? You have to get a warrant to even hide cameras. You know what I'm saying? And stake out people's houses and do all that, folks. They really did they whole big one, though. They did they whole 007 espionage, MIT type of shit. This some real Fast and Furious type of shit right here. So if they got wiretaps, photos, footage, iClouds, Google accounts, bank information, and your sale site locations, bro, it's bad, bro.
Google
It's
accounts
the
and
feds
financial records belonging to those involved in the alleged conspiracy, even using undercover agents to buy guns and drugs from people involved in the conspiracy. Big U, Loose Cannon, and even Bricc Baby, who wasn't even named as a defendant in the complaint, had their phones tapped by the feds, and hidden cameras and bugged microphones were even planted at locations that they were known to visit. The criminal complaint even
Look, you heard what he said? They had video and audio of locations that they was known to visit. These niggas ain't even know they was being recorded this whole time. They phones was tapped. They ain't even know. Like,
cameras and bugged microphones were even planted at locations that they were known to visit. The criminal complaint even claimed that Big U and the gang were using podcasts and online documentaries, as well as interviews to make the public fear the Big U enterprise. Shout out to the FBI agent that's getting paid to watch this one. Thank you for your service. And the feds would even directly cite...
I wonder if they watching Mula channel on phone now. Y'all need to give me a shout out or something. Put my name, my little, you feel me? Because listen, folks.
Comments made on the No Jumper podcast as evidence. It was also stated that while Bricc Baby wasn't a main defendant in the Operation Drawdown, he had a separate sealed indictment pending for a different case. Right. Bricc Baby's indictment revealed two counts for illegally having guns and bullets. One of these incidents allegedly taking place on the 12th of June 2022, when Bricc would reportedly shoot a 9mm handgun in the parking lot of a business. With a second incident taking place on the 23rd of June 2023, when Bricc would be arrested by the LAPD, who allegedly found him with 3 guns and more than 130 bullets, and since some weapons and ammunition may have come out of state, this immediately triggered federal charges.
Right,
the paperwork would also show Brick's earlier criminal history at the time of this arrest, ranging from 2010 to 2020, including reckless evading, 2 counts of possession of controlled substances, criminal threats, and robbery. Hey, who said Bricc ain't got a rap sheet, huh? And while Bricc would not be charged on the Big U RICO case, the feds would note that Brick's case may be related, as it arises out of the same conspiracy. It would be revealed in news reports that hundreds of agents had executed simultaneous arrests targeting 19 defendants identified in the case.
Now, this morning, hundreds of agents and officers, including multiple SWAT teams, executed multiple arrest warrants for many of the 19 defendants charged in this case. Search warrants were executed at 6 locations. Those searches continue to be underway.
Search warrants at 6 locations
were already in custody, and 10 defendants were taken into custody in the last 24 hours. And while we're still seeking the whereabouts of 5 individuals, 3 of whom we believe we will have in custody shortly, 2 defendants are considered fugitives.
Approximately 10 defendants were arrested, including Loose Cannon and Bricc Baby.
Look at Loose Cannon, looking stupid. He's like, what's going on? All right. I didn't do nothing.
Arrest being filmed by his wife circulating online. But interestingly, at the press conference, it was announced that Big U was a fugitive and was still at large, despite the criminal complaint and pending charges.
Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement.
The news would continue to report on the arrest, proudly showing collages of those targeted. Big U had been on the run and released a statement saying that he was with his family and planning to turn himself in, as well as suggesting that the case against him wasn't true and that he was just being hunted for helping black people.
This is my last video before I turn myself in.
That nigga said he's just being hunted for helping black people. If you don't get your stupid ass on somewhere.
I'm with my family. Talk to my sons, I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, going to deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire.
Okay.
I just need y'all prayers.
We're not praying for you, bro.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, because you know you smoking people, bro.
21 years, I elevated my family, come back, and right and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me. I hope you help me. If you can't, you don't worry about it.
What?
A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash.
A lot of the stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. You just told on yourself, bro. This is why lawyers be telling people to shut the fuck up. Yeah, a lot of what y'all hearing is straight trash. But some of what y'all hearing, they got a point, but I ain't gonna say that, though. Like, nigga, you slow. What's wrong with these people?
I appreciate the love, and I appreciate the people who've been helping me. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard helping black people and not being hunted.
Like, come on, what are you talking about, bro?
First Street, it might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
What are you talking
about? Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
You hear me?
Help my own family.
What are you talking about?
Big U would then take to social media once again to elaborate further on his feelings. Firstly, denying stealing money from developing options and claiming that the money he took was simply a salary that he used to pay his bills and feed his family.
I'm looking at these
You
videos.
can't do that! Nick, what is wrong with these people? You can't set up a non-profit organization with your name on it and transfer the money to your account to pay your bills. That's not how that works. You're snitching on yourself. Like, why is me at 26, why do I understand that? And you are 50-some years old and you don't get it. How slow do you gotta be?
I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option for some front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made as an employee for Developing Option. I never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody. I didn't steal nothing. We did PPP loans. We did 2 loans. And that's it, just like everybody else did. I didn't use no fraud. I didn't give none of fake names. And one of them we was paying back and one they forgave. You know what I mean? And the other one we attempted for and they didn't give us nothing for it. I filed my taxes, and them coming around telling me I was using Developing Option as a cover. Cover for what? None of that's going to be true.
He would go on to claim that of the over dozen co-defendants in the case, many he doesn't even talk to.
The government putting this big picture, they want to arrest 21 dudes. Some dudes I don't even talk to.
No more. You don't talk to no more, but you know who they are. You don't have to talk to somebody for somebody to have involvement in some gang type stuff, bro. Y'all slow, gang. That's like they locked me up for a robbery from 3 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, I don't talk to them. Nigga, what do that got to do with anything?
I don't even know nothing about.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Told followers to pray for him, reflecting on all his achievements that he had made over his last 21 years of freedom.
It is what it is.
You're a goofy.
Church, just pray for me.
Nobody's praying for your big ass.
Pray for my family. And you look at what we did. You look at what I did. I've been home 21 years. It ain't over though.
Big U would go on to say that he doesn't talk to any of the other people arrested, and that the cops might as well arrest 600 and Wack since they're including his so-called enemies.
And then I'm looking at the people they arrested. So how you gonna go arrest people that I don't even talk to? Everybody know I don't with Cannon. Everybody know I with Bricc Baby. So if you want to arrest certain dudes, and put them next to me, them is the dudes you gonna have to call themselves turning against me. Well, ain't no turn against me. You might as well go get 600 and whack.
Big U even accused 600 of waiting outside of his house with the police to watch the raid, a response to the fact that he'd reposted footage from the raid on his socials.
One of us, it ain't nobody safe with these dudes. If these dudes feel they want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided? How they there with the police? 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack. Wack, loose cannon, 600, and this internet stuff.
Elsewhere,
Bro,
Big U would...
What does that have to do with anything that's going on right now, bro? Like...
also suggests that whoever takes his spot as the leader of the 60s community movement must be working with Wack 100 to take that spot.
But y'all gonna be rolling with these dudes. And I got this last thing to say. Wack said he was gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option? Which one of you in the 60s gonna call yourself coming in? Because whoever try to come in, y'all the ones that's working with Wack. Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who gonna cooperate. That's what the play is.
Big U went on to blame Wack for working with the FBI to try and take away his government funding.
100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me.
Yeah, they probably told them that because they was finna seize your damn accounts. They said, don't give him no money.
They're going around scaring and intimidating everybody.
Well, they can do that, bro. They're the Fed.
People shutting him down and saying they were scaring and intimidating people was pretty hypocritical.
Right.
But from here, he would continue to pull the race card and claim that the FBI are trying to shut down black men doing right by their communities.
Man, ain't nobody finna listen to this big ass.
Big U going into FBI custody, describing him like a mob boss.
With breaking news, this just in, the FBI says that South LA crime boss Eugene Big U Henley is now in custody. Authorities say he ran a mafia-like organization while masquerading as a music...
Talk about some they running around trying to intimidate people. Yeah, like you was doing. And then you was talking about it on Instagram and talking about it on, like, come on, bro. What are you talking about?
Gang peacemaker.
Some would report that the DA handling the case was looking at connections between Big U and Nipsey's murder as well. All this crazy news sent the podcast media space into a frenzy. A No Jumper News episode discussing the latest news went mega viral, reaching over 15,000 live viewers and racking up hundreds of thousands of views. Funnily enough, during a segment on the show while Wack 100 was calling in, the full criminal complaint dropped online. I actually read this immediately and even sent Adam22 a number of screenshots of details that related to No Jumper and his podcast shows, including the show with Wack, as well as the section about Wack being confronted by the Rolling 60s at the show at the Novo. In response to this, Big U's nephew, Tiny Draws, would post about the podcast saying that those people don't do anything for their communities and are snitches.
What does that have to do with anything? Y'all be talking about stuff that's irrelevant as hell. They don't do nothing for their communities. Doing nothing for your community is not a crime. It does not matter. Me snitching is not illegal. It does not matter. That's only people that you can't hurt somebody's feelings calling them a snitch if they not in the streets. We don't care. We don't care. And I used to be the, you can't snitch, you lame man, they snitching. I used to be just like that, bro, because how I was raised up and the people I was around. But on bro grave, like, man, y'all better leave me the fuck alone. I'm calling the police on your monkey ass. Quick, too. Over quick. Before you can say 1, 2, 3, you hear me? Like, it's you going to jail, gang, and it's nothing wrong with snitching. I don't have to play by your rules. I don't have to live my life how you live your life. I don't have to be in the streets how you be in the streets, because I'm gonna tell you the thing. What really happened in these situations? The one person running around trying to call everybody else a snitch and trying to make everybody feel bad will be the very motherfucker that snitch on you. He trying to make you feel bad for snitching, and he'll be the same motherfucker go snitch on you to get out early. Like, stop listening to these people. These people is not going to jail doing no 30, 40 years when they can snitch on you and do 5 years. They're not. Nobody's doing that. Like, who's doing that? Y'all crazy.
Would post about the podcast saying that those people don't do anything for their communities and are snitches. The news sparked a raucous debate which went far beyond the walls of No Jumper. On social media, an apparent public hit was put on Christopher Lovejoy and Loose Cannon, and Whack 100 would claim that Bricc and Big U were named in a sealed court file tied to a case against the New Jersey Rollin' 60s, a case that led to the battle rapper Sue Surf being sentenced to 5 years in prison.
In Jersey.
Well, what did Bricc ever have to do with them? You think Bricc is in some way complicit
Big U
with that?
too. He had a sealed file, the exposures, Prince, Lavish, pulled it up. We tracked the
Trap Lord
case
Ross,
number
we supposed
back
to get off
to
the
Sue
joint.
Surf them. First, we thought it was some dirt. It's not dirt. He got a sealed file, dope case, New Jersey. It's the same indictment. Sue Surf them. I know it is.
On the 26th of March 2025, the full indictment would be returned from a California grand jury, which formally charged Big U, they, Bear Claw, Loose Cannon, and 2 others with a litany of crimes. This reiterated the claims made in the prior criminal complaint, as well as provided several new key details and pieces of evidence that gave more insights into the alleged crimes committed, like pictures of the scene where Rayshawn Williams' body was found, or interesting details like the fact that Big U left the subpoena and a baseball hat associated with the Rollin' 60s behind for the feds to find after they raided his home, and that Big U social media messages while on the run were now being included as overt acts as part of the racketeering conspiracy. Sadly, it's not looking good for the Rollin' 60 neighborhood Crips, especially Big U.
It's bad.
In conclusion, it seems that Big U was perhaps one of the most infamous and feared Crips in LA history. No doubt he truly did run Los Angeles in a sense. Nothing could happen in the streets without him having a say, and if the indictment is to be believed, this was truly a dangerous man, willing and ready to kill at the slightest violation. A predator, preying on the weak and extorting those who were scared of his reputation.
If y'all don't know, they literally, and the first Friday came out in 95, bro. So we talking about 30 years right now. 30 years ago is what we talking about. The whole Debo character was made inspired by Big U. So that's 30 years ago, bro. You feel me? So everybody been thinking and knowing that Big U is a big bully. He gonna smoke you. He gonna take your stuff. He gonna extort you. He gonna steal your money. He gonna go crazy with it. You feel me? The person who played Debo was basically playing a fake role of this man in real life. They got wiretaps. They had secret 007 cameras at the spots. That's like you selling drugs and they got a hidden camera in your light bulb. Bro, you're going to jail, bro. Like, I don't know what you want us to say. You talk about you helping black people, gang. They have you on camera and wiretap. What the fuck are you talking about? The fact that we still learning new shit about this case, because Poetic Flacco didn't cover what Trap Lord Ross just covered. You know what I'm saying? I never seen or heard of none of the stuff he just talked about. The fact that we seeing more and more new stuff every single day almost. Wait till the goddamn trial starts. Wait till they start releasing evidence. You're going to jail, homie. I'm sorry.
Threats of violence that the whole city knew he was willing to follow through on. But really, this is also the story of a sick individual. I can't imagine how twisted someone would have to be to murder one of their son's childhood friends.
That's crazy.
One that they had personally coached in football as a child, no less.
And not because he pulled a knife on you when he was swinging it at you, because you got mad because he, like, what?
If these allegations are true, then we're dealing with a very dangerous person,
crazy man,
with zero value on human life, and was willing to kill a child they had seen grow up over something as trivial as a diss song or wasted studio time. That's one of the most dark and twisted things I have ever heard in a gang case. If it's proven in court, then there's no doubt that Big U won't be seeing the streets again. But in Big U's defense, even though the criminal complaint paints a damning picture of the double life he was living, we can't necessarily overlook the actual good that he did do for his community. Although there's accusations that Big U scams may have reached all the way to the kids' toy drives, you can't remove all the toys, gym equipment, and other stuff that his organization did manage to donate.
Bro, but that's what they do. That still does not, all that is fine and dandy, but you were breaking the law to get the money to pay for it. The feds don't care. They don't care. If you go rob a bank for $10 million and then you use the $10 million to feed Africa, your ass is still going to jail. What the fuck? FBI, open up! If you go catch 3 bodies for some money and you come back to your hood and pay everybody rent, oh, that's great and wonderful, but the fans don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Kids in need, all the countless hours that he personally dedicated to do something positive for the youth in his community. But then again, does that make it worse? Were the positive things Big U did in fact do for his community genuine efforts by a flawed gangster to take the right path? Or are these also just calculated moves of a manipulative mastermind who masterfully used positive acts as a method to mystify and cloak a dark empire of murder and extortion? We'll have to see how this case plays out in court, but the sad truth is, if these allegations are true, the man who was doing the most for his community was also doing the most damage to it. Ultimately, sometimes it seems like the image that people try and portray can say more about what they're pretending to be rather than what they really are. I hope that Big U can get a fair and speedy trial. And if there's one thing that I've learned from this story,
one thing, let me tell you something. If he was out, see, this is why it's a difference. If you outside like doing something illegal for money, but you just doing it for the money and you not necessarily like hurting nobody, I feel like that's a completely different thing than you actually murdering people, extorting businesses, robbing people, kidnapping rappers, extorting from like that's, bro, you on some like real Thanos type of evil villain type of shit. You're not gonna get no sympathy for that. Now, if you was, I don't know, selling plates illegally and you made $1 million doing that and you was helping your community, okay, then everybody like, man, free you, they bogus as hell. You know what I'm saying? But even selling, you could have even been selling drugs, honestly. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could have been selling loud, bro, grave. You could have been selling pounds, folks. You could have been selling pounds and feeding your community, you know what I'm saying, with the money, and you got arrested. Okay, cool. Nobody really cares about that. Then I'll be on them motherfuckers talking about free Big U and all that. But when they got you on wiretap and you going to legal, law-abiding businesses and you forcing them to give you $20,000, $30,000 a month, otherwise, you gonna come and then when they don't give it to you, you send your people in there to rob them, beat them, kidnap them, and take all their money, all they loud and all that, folk. Then that's you out here terrorizing people, folk. Well, I don't know what you expected was gonna happen.